Hi, I'm Harry. I'm a actor, writer, and filmmaker. Back in 2003, I started working on a documentary, and the documentary is called Spirituality in Film. Now, the full title is Spirituality in Film, A Shamanic Journey. In 98 or 99, I began to notice in the films I was seeing, and even television, that it seemed like there were spiritual ideas coming through in these films that may or may not have been intentional, but certainly seem to have an effect and resonate with people, where perspective is shifted and you begin to see another level of reality. And films have started playing with this, starting with The Matrix, and with the even Fight Club, and some of these other films. The idea of shifting perspective, and I guess The Sixth Sense probably is the best example of that in a mainstream film, where we, as an audience, are brought in on a participatory level to a new kind of, or a different level of reality than we are used to. And I think that was very unique in film, because previous to that, not that there weren't films that talked about different levels of reality, but you rarely got to see it. Or if you got to see it, you got a glimpse of it, but you didn't. It was told sort of as a third person. You experienced it through somebody doing some expository dialogue about it. But with these films, and also I think with the advent of digital media, which allows you to do a lot visually with images, we're able to actually feel like we experience a different level of reality. And that's the shaman's journey right there. Because a shaman in traditional indigenous cultures, and there are shamans in all indigenous cultures. A lot of times we might think of a shaman as a Native American shaman, but there are African shamans and Aboriginal shamans in New Zealand and all over the world. Every indigenous culture has been, or has had a shamanic tradition. But the idea of the shaman is a visionary. In indigenous cultures, the shaman was known to live in two worlds. He lived in what people would call, or in shamanic literature has been called, ordinary reality, the everyday mundane life. But he also lived in non-ordinary reality, or other indigenous cultures call this the dream time. What indigenous cultures accepted was that dreamtime, or non-ordinary reality, was not unreal. It was just a different reality, a different level of reality. And in our very empirical society, we have a very difficult time with that. Something either has to be factual and pertaining to the truth, or a lie or a myth. And even the word myth is misinterpreted in our society today, because myth does not mean something that isn't true. Something that's on a mythic scale is a grand truth that is told through poetry and told through imagery and told through stories, but contains very powerful truth, deep truth, emotional truth, truth for living. Sets up, a great deal of conflict in I think the Western mind, and I think we suffer a lot for not understanding the idea of myth. But what I'm seeing, because these films are reflecting a sort of a dawning awareness that people may be having, that there is a different level of reality, or there are different levels of reality. And so we're starting to see some of these in these films.